For a closer look at what the hearings have revealed about the former president, we're joined now by CBS News chief political analyst, John Dickerson. John, it's good to talk to you. We were side by side just on Thursday night during these primetime broadcasts of the hearings. 17 million Americans watched them. But this is a political process before Congress. It's not a legal one, as we just discussed. How do we start to assess the impact?
Well, it's good to be with you, Margaret. I think the impact of this Thursday's hearing was different than all the other hearings. When Donald Trump sometimes boasted about refusing to act as president, the consequences seemed far off. What Thursday showed was the most direct connection between Donald Trump choosing not to act as president and the dire consequences of doing so. So as Americans watched January 6th, most of them were heartsick. They thought they wished something could be done. What could be done? Donald Trump watched also, and he could do something. It was his duty as president to preserve, to protect, and defend. He did nothing. His family called him and said, because of your special connection to the rioters flying your flag, you should do something. He did nothing. So for 3 hours, while he watched what everybody else was watching, he did not respond. And that is the most clear representation of his refusal to do the job and actually doing the job. So what was amazing about Thursday was not the specific testimony, which was amazing, but that no one can testify that he took actions consistent with his job. Not the witnesses who talked about what he didn't do, but that no one can bear witness to him doing the job as commander-in-chief.
Right. And that inaction was something Congressman Kinzinger put his finger on. And he was on another network this morning saying that when it comes to the hearings for Republicans in general, this doesn't appear to be having a ton of impact. And I thought that was interesting because when you open the Wall Street Journal editorial page, the New York Post, it drew a lot of attention that they both were unusually harsh in their criticism of the former president in the past few days. The Journal wrote, "Characters revealed in a crisis. Mr. Pence passed his January 6th trial. Mr. Trump utterly failed his." How do we assess where the conservative movement is on this?
Well, we'll have to see. Donald Trump's reputation is in flux. When we think about the Republican Party, it's got kind of two challenges. There are a lot of tensions in an election year, two challenges and one thing that's going well for it. If you think of Donald Trump, the challenge is he has been judged by the leaders of his party, Mitch McConnell in the Senate, Kevin McCarthy in the House, Mike Pence, as having failed in a fundamental duty of the job. So how does a party go forward when its most popular leader has failed at a core job in a democracy? The other challenge is in the movement of people who look at what happened on January 6th and think that the rioters didn't go far enough, who have an apocalyptic sense of politics and think that anything goes if you demonize the other side sufficiently. Those are two problems and challenges for the Republican Party. The upside for Republicans at the moment, which will cause them to push that beach ball under the water, is that they've got a very favorable political environment with Joe Biden's weakness, Democratic lack of enthusiasm, and the general historical trend that the party out of power does well in the midterms. All of those things will encourage Republicans to leave their problems to the side for the hopes of winning power back.
What do you think that legacy of Trumpism is? Is it blow up the system?
Well, the legacy as it's come through these hearings, let's think about what these hearings have lifted and what it means. It kind of goes beyond Donald Trump, but it goes to the two challenges of in a democracy. One of the things we've seen in these hearings is that people who were challenged and under pressure of the Trump administration and Donald Trump, they did the right thing under pressure. And we've seen that for weeks. The other challenge, though, is the people who knew better and didn't act. Right. Which of those two wins out?
John Dickerson, always good to chat with you. We'll be right back in a moment with more Face the Nation. Stay with us.